Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This morning, want to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining the Inland Coalition on Aging. We're excited to be streaming this morning to let you know a little bit about our work with the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging. My name is Dr. Ben Howdige, and I'm the chair of the Inland Coalition on Aging. And today we have two subject matter experts on the Master Plan for Aging. They'll be sharing their thoughts on the Master Plan, our progress up until now. And at the end, we will invite you to be a part of this process of developing a local master plan for aging. The Inland Coalition on Aging has been working on this for the past 2 years. We are a coalition of agencies that serve older adults, adults with disabilities, and caregivers, and we've been working on developing a local master plan for aging, the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging. And we hope that this plan, once developed, will be a blueprint for organizations, local government, nonprofit organizations, universities, health plans, social service agencies, anybody who serves these three populations I mentioned. They will use this plan as a blueprint for integrating services, ensuring access to long-term service and support, supporting our caregivers, older adults, and adults with disabilities. So again, we're excited to be here with you today. With me today is Carmen Estrada. She is the Inland Empire Master Plan on Aging Advisory Committee co-chair. Thank you, Carmen, for joining us. Also with us today is Elizabeth Bogomil. She is a PhD candidate. She is a consultant helping us to develop the master plan for aging. So we're going to ask them a few questions to give us some insight into the master plan for aging. What is it? Tell us a little bit about the history, where we are now, and where we're headed. So without any further ado, we'll just go ahead and jump in. So, Carmen and Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about what is the master plan for aging. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, please do so. And then tell us a little bit more about the master plan for aging and what's this exciting work that you're doing to develop this master plan.
So I can jump in. I'm Elizabeth Bogomil. I helped conduct the needs assessment for the preliminary beginnings of the Master Plan for Aging in the Inland Empire. So California originally announced the State Master Plan for Aging in 2021, and as a response to the realization that over the next 2 decades, California's over 65 population would nearly double, with those aged 85 and older being the fastest growing demographic. So this will lead to an increase in demand for health and support services. And in response to that need, the Master Plan for Aging is a 10-year blueprint, like you had mentioned, for state government, local government, private sector, and philanthropy, and also looping in universities and local organizations and all those who would like to use this as a guide to prepare for these coming demographic changes.
Thank you. Well, this is exciting work that we're doing. Carmen, did you have anything to add to that?
Sure. First, thank you for having me. Like Ben said, Carmen Estrada, I'm the director of Inland Caregiver Resource Center, and I'm currently honored to be the co-chair of the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging Advisory Committee, and also proud member of the Inland Coalition on Aging. We'll let you know how you can join later. Um, yeah, and like just to add on to what Elizabeth said, California created a master plan, and so the plan is for the whole state. It's a playbook that they created that we could use as a guide to develop a local plan because, as we know, the needs up north may not be the same as the needs down south. And so the Inland Empire is very diverse demographically, geographically, and that's why it's very important that we got the opportunity to create a master plan.
So the California has developed five goals, which are housing for all stages and ages, health reimagined, inclusion and equity, not isolation, caregiving that works, and affordable aging. So why are all these things important? Why is it important to have a local master plan for aging?
So aging, oftentimes is viewed as something we dread, right? When we hear the word aging, we get scared, or we don't get scared, but we think that's not me. I'm not there yet. But the reality is, we are all aging every day, every hour. Aging really encompasses all of us. The access that we have or don't have to services, it's going to affect how we age in the Inland Empire. It's projected that by 2060 in the IE, we will have experienced a 682% increase in the population over 65. That's scary. It's the largest across the state. And so we have to kind of ask ourselves, is the Inland Empire ready for this? Is the Inland Empire ready for this big surge? The answer is in some ways yes, and in some ways no. So that's why it was important for us to start planning now and start coming together as a community. Because, like I said, aging is not just individuals over the age of 65, it's all of us because we are all aging. So it's important for us to kind of take a step back and think about, do we have everything we need to have a good quality of life in the Inland Empire? And so this is why it's important. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, the Inland Empire is very diverse in the people, in the demographics. The high desert is very different than the low desert, but they're both called deserts, right? And so the master plan process has helped us kind of take a look at the different communities and the different needs, and really think about what we need to do to make the IE an area where we can age well.
Wow, that's incredible. 682% increase in those 65 and over in the Inland Empire. Here, those are local numbers. It just reinforces the need for this master plan for aging. So I'm curious, Elizabeth, can you tell me more about what is the focus here in the Inland Empire for the master plan for the Inland Empire?
So, the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging will include an action plan focused on optimizing health and wellness of older adults and adults with disabilities, and also caregivers as well. It includes considerations for housing, transportation, healthcare, Alzheimer's and all other dementias, behavioral health and social support, and then also caregiving. So, a lot of the domains that we're looking at overlap with the state master plan for aging, but we also have some unique domains that we're examining further and were integrated into the needs assessment because they were determined to be important for the region and relevant to look at for the region. Our needs assessment did address healthcare too. However, many of the needs explored in the needs assessment, healthcare needs specifically, would require like state and national level systems change. So we're approaching IEMPA with an understanding that health can be integrated into all policies, and that's why the IEMPA addresses the ways in which housing and transportation and healthcare, Alzheimer's and other dementias, behavioral health, social support, and caregiving impact individual and community health. So we have an understanding that the connection happens there. And that's how we're integrating health into this discussion as well.
This is a huge undertaking, and the Inland Empire is such a vast region. I imagine we need a lot of people involved. Carmen, tell me, who's behind the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging?
So the main driver of the master plan for aging in the IE is the Inland Coalition on Aging. This is who is going to be driving the bus, right? Putting together the plan and then putting together an implementation plan, because we hope to develop a document that's not just going to sit on a bookshelf, but that's going to be active. As Dr. Harigi mentioned, the coalition consists of professionals who provide services to older adults, adults with disabilities, and caregivers. Our vision for the coalition is to create a community where we age well in the IE. The coalition's three objectives are to engage stakeholders to develop initiatives that will further our mission to facilitate systems change across networks, and also developing improved integrated care and service delivery of long-term services and support. So long-term services and supports, that's a few key words that we need to start thinking about our care as we age, right? Long-term services is important, and that encompasses a lot of different services in the community. The main focus of the ICA right now is to develop this master plan And so through the ICA, we developed a subcommittee, which is the Inland Empire Master Plan on Aging Advisory Committee. And so that committee's main focus is developing this plan, and it involves individuals and professionals from both counties. You know, the counties that we're serving in the Inland Empire are huge, Riverside and San Bernardino County. Through this development of this plan, we are getting both counties to work together, which is extremely important because there are a lot of services that cross both borders, right, from Riverside County and San Bernardino County. So it was crucial for us to get individuals representing both counties. So we have on the advisory committee the Riverside Office on Aging, the San Bernardino Department on Aging and Adult Services. We have the Alzheimer's Association, Inland Caregiver Resource Center, IEHP. We also have the SCAN Foundation supporting our efforts, and we have a lot of other organizations, including independent living centers from both counties, working together to develop this plan. And so, yes, it involves a lot of people, a lot of working together, but it's possible. And that's, I feel, how we're going to be able to not only develop a plan that represents our community, but also develop some action and some activities and implementation to get this plan doing what it needs to do, which is help us age well in the Inland Empire.
What a comprehensive list of folks that you have, Carmen. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad to hear that all the players are in the room, so to speak, including independent living centers. Those are disability advocacy organizations that are part of this and contributing to the development. So very exciting to hear that the key players are part of this process. So Elizabeth, what is the process to develop this master plan? A little bit more on that, please.
Definitely. So the plan to develop, it was in response to community input. We gathered this community input through focus groups and through surveys, and we made sure that it reflected the diverse geographic locations of San Bernardino and Riverside counties, and also the subgroups and populations that live within those counties. We also had the plan being informed by local service providers. So, as part of the needs assessment, we spoke with diverse groups of people, individuals who are English and Spanish speakers, caregivers, LGBTQIA individuals, those who are African American and Hispanic, veterans, unhoused and low income individuals, and those living in rural areas, disabled individuals as well. And we also incorporated the voices of elders in the Saboba Torres Martinez, Morongo Agua Caliente, Pachanga, Coyuya, and Santa Rosa Nations through their needs assessment conducted by the University of North Dakota School of Medicine and Health Sciences and the National Resource Center on Native Aging. So it was really important that we have the diversity of communities in San Bernardino and Riverside counties represented in the initial needs assessment that we did. And so we did these focus groups and we pulled together all this data from the needs assessment. And then we presented the findings to our advisory board, which Carmen talked a little about. It's made up of community stakeholders and service providers. And from there, the board met and discerned 74 recommendations. Presently, we have working groups in each of the topics that we're focusing on, and they are narrowing down these recommendations and looking at them for feasibility and sustainability and how to turn them into action items moving forward. And so we've had working groups focusing on these with housing and transportation, behavioral health and social support, caregiving and Alzheimer's as well. And so they've been meeting regularly and talking about how to turn these recommendations into actions in our region. And in future live streams, we'll be able to potentially discuss the needs assessment findings a little more in depth.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that. It sounds like we have everything needed to develop this very robust plan that's going to be hopefully implemented throughout the Inland Empire. A lot of work has been put into it. You have the support of major organizations in this space. You have the engagement of the community diverse community, the rural communities. Very impressed with the engagement of the community and the professionals in the field, and all of those organizations that have been supporting it, including funding the program, like the SCAN Foundation and the California Department of Aging. That's fantastic. So when do we get to see this plan? What's the next step? When will the plan be completed? Give us the good news, Carmen.
So, as Elizabeth mentioned, we're right now working through the recommendations with the help of our working groups. And so we've been meeting on a monthly basis. Our hope is to have the framework ready to share by September. By the end of September, we have a second annual conference that we'll be having where we can share the framework with professionals in the community serving caregivers, adults with disabilities, and older adults. We will then be asking for additional feedback, and we will also be looking for, through developing the development of the goals and activities. And we had to, think about who can lead these efforts in each of these categories. And so we're going to take some time to reach out to these other potential collaborators. Because, like I said, we want this to be an active plan. And so we do need to take our time in making sure that those we're identifying as important are going to be going to buy into what we're doing and are going to accept that challenge to help us implement some of these projects. And so by the end of September, we hope to share the framework. We will then be asking for some feedback from the community. Our ultimate goal is to have a final plan ready by June of 2025. And so we have, less than a year to finish this off, and hope to then have, another event where we can invite the community and share what the plan looks like. Because we're going to need everybody. We're going to need everybody to help us implement the plan. And then we also need to know if we need to make changes to the plan. Even though we will create this plan, it's going to be an active plan, a plan that could change with the changing needs of our community. And so it's going to be a working plan. And so we hope to have that final draft by June of 2025.
Thank you, Carmen. So we talked a lot about the blueprint, right, for organizations. But what is the ultimate goal, Elizabeth, if you had to put it in a sentence or two? What is the ultimate goal of this master plan for aging?
So I feel like an MPA can help create connections between resource providers and build infrastructure to sustain those social connections to one another and the service providers who are providing support for those who are aging, and thus improving quality of life.
Fantastic. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. And thank you, Carmen, for your input today. This has been fantastic, very exciting work that's been done. And still, an opportunity to participate is still here. We still have an opportunity for folks to get involved, to be active in actively of this monumental process. And we hope that everybody here on the call on this chat will join us. There is an opportunity to be involved, to be informed. If you go to inlandaging.org, visit the Inland Coalition on Aging website at inlandaging.org. There it is on the screen. There is a way to sign up, to be informed, to continue to receive updates on the master plan, to get involved. We need people who are caregivers. We need folks who are older adults. We need folks who are adults with disabilities to stay informed and be actively engaged with us and a part of this. And we also, there's a role for professionals in the field. So if you work in the field of aging, the field of disability, the field of caregiving, you're a part of a healthcare system, social services system, university, anybody who serves this community and is interested in the mission, the vision of this master plan for aging, you have an opportunity to join. So I invite you to go to inlandaging.org today. Sign up to receive updates. Sign up to be a member of the coalition if you're a professional, and be involved, be engaged, and help us as we work to improving health, improving people to age in place, to have the dignity to make choices, to feel safe in their communities, and to provide a tool for those agencies that are providing these services to really make this a reality in the Inland Empire. Very exciting work being done. Thank you once again, Elizabeth, and thank you, Carmen, and thank you to the Inland Coalition on Aging. We thank the board members that are part of this, all those members that are part of this work, the ongoing meetings and stakeholder input sessions. Again, we invite you, join us again by going again to inlandaging.org, registering, signing on. We hope to see you soon in one of our upcoming stakeholder engagement opportunities or one of our monthly meetings. Elizabeth, again, Carmen, thank you for all your work in developing the Inland Empire Master Plan for Aging. Any last words for our audience here today?
We hope to see you there.
Yeah, we look forward to working with you and to making the IE a great place to age and place.
Well said. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a good rest of the day, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Hope you all age well. Take care.